Hello to all Elliott wave traders, to all crypto traders who are watching this video, and welcome to another Elliott Waves on Cryptos. It's been a week since the last video, and I did realize that you like the Saturday, so I thought, why not do another video on Saturday? No, that's actually a joke. I wish I could have done it earlier. It just couldn't because I have a lot of things on the pipeline for my website, some bots, some new things that coming up, so that's why I've been quite distracted, and I would also say busy with this side of things. In today's video, we're going to always have a quick on BTC and see how the count has changed, if it has changed, or where we're looking at potential invalidations. And we're also going to have a quick look on engine, because this is what the QIC community has voted for the week, given with the options provided. There has been a change in engine, and I will explain why as well in the video. Until then, and before you start watching this video, do know that none of this is investment advice. You should always do your own research before taking any decisions. This is purely education and providing insights, educational. Also, I would also say credible and authentic. So without further ado, let's go straight to the video. And in case you do want more of these videos, don't forget that you can also join my Telegram channel, which you can find information on the about section of my YouTube channel. Don't forget, scammers are around. I only have my contact details on YouTube. This is the only way you can contact me directly on Telegram. You can also find my email there, of course, as well, should you prefer to contact me that way. So without taking more time from this long-awaited, patiently waited video, let's go to BTC, and I will try this time to be quick, because every time I say the same thing, and I will go for about 20-25 minutes. So let's see what's happening in the markets. Okay, as always, guys, I want to start off with BTC. Nothing has changed in the count here. Last time we were looking at this being wave 1 and 2. We were looking at 3. 4 is still valid as 4, and 5 is expected. Okay, here's what I'm thinking though. This is the long-term count as well, right? Don't forget. I'm thinking that this structure over here started looking more like an ABC rather than 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Although none of the rules or guidelines have been, or some of the guidelines have been invalidated yet. They're all respected. However, we have to look at the actual shape of this move to the downside, and it looks like we do have an ABC. So that being an A means that we can expect a B, and then we can expect a C. Should this take place in this manner, it would mean that this is indeed a W, X, and Y with an irregular wave X, and this count is correct. It would mean that we'll have to go down to the previous low at least, okay? Because, well, wave Y cannot really be truncated. So it's not like a case where we can assume that wave Y can be a triangle. And why is this? Is because, well, it's because we are really looking at the triangle to end above in the 50% of this wave Y. So it is not really going to look much pretty. Now the question is here that some of you might have, if you know, is that why am I calling this an A and not a W? Because this is an ABC. Well, I will tell you why. Because I'm not a fan of ABC, a WXY wave in Y. A complex pattern in a complex pattern is not what you usually see. We could see WX and Y in X, but not in W or in Y. Okay. Now, with that said, the ABC here being an A does not make much sense, right? So it could either be an A we could get a B all the way up here and then a C wave down here. That means that wave Y is going to be a flat, okay? And that would be an expanded that could be an expanded variation, right? Because don't forget that wave Y of wave C of an ABC flat cannot really extend much if it's just the regular version, but it could still be the case. That I would look at potentially reaching actually, hold on, around the 65K, 65.50 or so. Doesn't necessarily mean it will get there now, right? In that scenario where this is an A, B, and a C. The other case would be this is A, B, and C, and it's going to be a case where it's going to be some sort of diagonal, okay? So we're gonna have to see this. Actually, it would be more correct to say 1, but the ABC would be still internally, right? ABC is a 1, ABC for 2, ABC for 3, ABC for 4, ABC for 5. And this is going to form an ending diagonal in wave Y, okay? Now, apart from this, so far, because we talked about this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for ending diagonal, because we can have an ABC in 1. We talked about this being ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And there is also the potential of that still being 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, and C, okay? But as I said before, the reason I'm just bringing all of these new counts in wave Y, it's because I'm not particularly happy with how long this correction takes, okay? The more it takes, the more I lean towards this being an ABC, okay? Which means this can be either A, or it can be 1. And we're gonna know only when this correction comes in whether this is, a B or a 2, because the depth of this correction is going to give us the details that we need in this case, which means we're going to find out maybe even in a few months. Okay. Now, we also have the alternative of, the A, B, and C here for a flat, which means that we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to be a fifth wave, which would definitely look more like a running flat, which means it's going to be an ABC rather than a W, X, and Y. If that happened, okay, since we do have that, let me actually do it the right way. Starts here and ends here, and our B is here, then around here. This would be the buy zone, okay? So it would mean that this is 1 and 2, this is 3 and 4, and we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which means internally this is some sort of leading diagonal, okay? And we can end anywhere between 34 and 37, and that would then rise up to complete the fifth wave, okay, the running flat. The other one, and the one that becomes a bit more evident, and the probabilities have definitely increased on that, is the one I talked for a while, but nobody listened. That if you want this to be a 5-wave impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, instead of an ABC, then you need to look at the volumes, and you need to digest the fact that without volumes, this cannot really be an impulse, okay? So if you want that to be an impulse, that means that it's done. The fifth wave, it looks like it's done. And to be frank with you, nothing so far from the 69K all the way down to 42 indicates an invalidation of this pattern, okay? We're moving progressively to the downside without a stop. So who says that this is 1 or A? If it's 1, when I get 2, 3, 4, and 5, I'm gonna go below 20K. Okay, if this is the end of the cycle. So for those who really want this to be a 5-wave impulse, think again. And it's not about what you want, it's about what we actually most likely have. Okay, so anyway, the 5-wave impulse here, because it can be read as a 5-wave impulse as well, okay, indicates that the 5th wave it's done and the cycle is finished, and that's it, right? Now, only if 41.15 holds, because it's very likely we're going to get another flash crash down to that low. If the 50 holds, okay, we can still assume that this can move higher, which means that can be 1 and 2, and we're going to get the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. We really have to see increasing volumes here in the 3rd wave. Otherwise, it's not going to be an impulse, okay, which means it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but very likely to be an ending diagonal rather than an impulsive move to the upside, which means we can expect fresh highs indeed, but not as much as with an impulse. What will this mean? Of course, that this is indeed an ABC, right? It won't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to get ABC and then ABC and ABC. So, but the volumes are going to show us what's going on here. So you see how markets have to be looked at, because if we get an ABC here, right, then you'll be like, okay, well, this is ABC and ABC. This is the flat you talked about, man, you know, and we're going to expect another leg to the downside. Yeah, it is a flat, but, you know, at the same time, you got ABC here and ABC here. That can still be the ending diagonal, right? So we always have to look at volumes. We always have to look at breaks of previous highs or lows. And we always have to look at indicators, sometimes most likely for signals, right? For corrections at least, and short-term relief, rallies or, you know, corrections. So with that said, guys, this is all there is for BTC long term. Now I want to take you a little bit within the short term, which I've already done pretty much. I just want to show you what I've got here. Okay, I've got this pattern which I had last time as well. Okay, and I am looking at this to be a wave A and then get a wave B. But as I said before, the probabilities of this becoming an ABC are really rising, because this takes a lot of time. And the truth is that if we look at guidelines, okay, we want wave 3 to extend usually down to around 162. The extensions we got here is 127. So unless if you come and tell me that this is 1 and 2, this is 3 and 4, and we're going to get 5, and my wave 3 is going to be here, then, you know, this is most likely to be an A over here, and, you know, like we're going to get B up here and C. Or maybe, A, B, yeah, well, if it is a flat, yeah, B up there. Or maybe it's a case where, you know, this is like A, B, and C. You know, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case even. Okay, so this would be something like, you know, well, 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. It doesn't look pretty, but it's what it is. We're talking about probabilities here, but those counts I'm showing you now in the short term are the least probable. Okay, there is one thing though I want to highlight. Okay, this extension down here can be either a 3 or C. Okay, remember that. And it looks like the 3, it's losing its steam because of how long this correction takes. Now, with that said, this can be leading diagonal 1, WX and Y here, and we continue higher. Yeah, which means this is an A, this is a B, this is a C. Depending on the length of the C and the duration, we're going to see what pattern this ends up being. It doesn't mean we cannot go lower, but what we're looking for in this particular case is the correction. And once the correction completes, we'll move up for wave C of B. Okay, we did the 62% so far, which is holding well, but I'm going to show you a couple of methods here to, you know, to use on your own charts. The other case is that, as I said before, we're still looking for A, so that's going to be ABC. That is like some sort of ABC, and that's like probably some ABC or something. and you know, we will start moving lower down, and then we will move higher. So we get another high, another low close to the previous low, and then start moving higher, or even a fresh low to do the fifth one, right? Which I'm not really looking with confidence. And last is the potential of this being for a wave here. That is 1 and 2, and that is going to be something like 3, then 4, and then we're going to get 5, and this is going to turn some sort of diagonal here. We'll get the fifth in, and then we'll move up. Okay, all of them are possible, some of them more than others. Currently though, and this is what we are gonna do here, and we have to, you gotta understand that we're moving in a descending channel. Okay, and the truth is that that's our first low here. Okay, so attempt to break lower, didn't happen. The second one got a rejection here. So we're looking for the middle line here around 47, 30, 50. See if that holds. If that holds, very likely to go lower down and create a fresh low until, you know, well, we might see breakout of this, and then we can turn into different resources. We can use a channel that is from there to there. Oops, sorry, that's not a channel. From there to there, okay, and we connect this low here, so we can expect something like this. Yeah, we'll get down to 43.40, and then we should higher. We'll see the signals on the RSI and the MACD, right? Or you know, if we just break this very suddenly and quickly, you know, and continue lower, then we have to place the channel over here, and we'll have to place another channel over here, okay, and follow this guideline as a guideline. So there's a lot of different things we can do to improve decision making, okay? But if you don't follow the markets at least like twice or 3 times a week, you know, if you're a swing trader, then I'm sorry, but you know, you've got to be updated. If you want to trade more short term, you have to watch videos on a daily basis, and you can do that in my channel if you're interested. Anyway, this is all there is for BTC. Now let's go on engine. I have good news and bad news. The bad news is that the previous count that we had is very likely invalid. Why? Because we're looking at this wave 2 being here, and we're looking at an ABC for a flat. Okay, so 2, then that would be 3. We would expect it for 4 and 5, but we said we need to stay above 206. I know it's only a tiny bit, okay, for now. For now, it's a tiny bit, but it's considered to be an invalidation. So the only way that could be a 2 and that could be a 4 is if we had some sort of ending diagonal here, okay? Which means if we're gonna have an ending diagonal, we cannot have a flat in wave 2. Okay, so my 2 cannot be here any longer because ending diagonals contain only zigzags, right? So we have to look at the count again, and I've brought wave 2 here, which actually makes more sense because you've got ABC, 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 ABC. Yeah, and we just did another ABC now. Perhaps this is my assumed 4 for now, and this is going to be ABC. And we're going to get one more leg up, and it will look like, unfortunately, that has ended. Okay, now you might ask, why ending? Why we're going to get just this as a fifth? What if it is the first of the fifth, and when we're going to go higher, you know, and that is, instead of being an ending diagonal, it's going to be a leading diagonal. This is also in the books, but it's considered an alternative, okay? Because we're not just supposed to go and find what is the most bullish count and, you know, use it. It's just not how the markets work, guys. Okay, so we'll have to always go with the closest, the most reasonable count, and what is going to happen most likely. So most likely it's an ending diagonal, because most likely we're going to get another high and fall. Okay, rather than most likely we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and reach $40. Okay, so I hope you understand the difference here and why. With that said, I'm still not confident and I don't like how this looks, because it would be a case where, you know, if this is 2 and this is 4, you see, I mean, it is a diagonal indeed, it just doesn't look pretty. My wave 1 compared to the wave 3 is very short-lived. It lasted like 2 days and this is like 30 days or whatever, just an assumption. My wave 4 it's okay for now because it's an ABC, right? So there is 2 short to medium-term potential scenarios here. One is that 4 is done here. I'm gonna say 1 B A B, and we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for C and end, and then start moving lower. Or my wave 4 is not done, and we're gonna get an expanded variation of this ending diagonal, which means we can see something like this, which means that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we get another one, and then we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That obviously is going to take a lot of time. It means that, you know, still is not the right look, but it is a scenario that really has higher probabilities than other counts right now. Okay, given how this is sort of developing as we speak. Now, other potential scenarios that we can see more upside. Well, as I said before, maybe this is considered as an invalidation, but because we're in crypto and liquidity is thin, you know, this can be assumed just to be bots. In other brokers, maybe we don't have this. I haven't checked, and maybe I should, but if you don't see that in other brokers, then most likely we could still be in 1 and 2. That could be 3 and 4, and we might still see another 5 wave move to the upside to end this. But even if that is the case, right, our wave 3 and wave 4 is most likely done. I mean, 4, it's done for sure here. If this is an impulse, then definitely 4 is done. Okay, if it's not and we move lower, then the diagonal comes in play. But for now, if this is not appearing in other brokers, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is very likely. Even with a diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very likely. But with a diagonal, we might get an expanded variation as well. Okay, so these are for ending diagonal. Is there anything else that might be the case here? Well, yes, but not very highly confident about this. And what would that be? That would be a case where I would most likely actually put my third here. Okay, and that would be a case where the fifth ended here. Okay, and you might ask, why would I do that? Well, I would do that in a case where this is ABC. This would be W, X, and Y, and then we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it would be a case where my wave 4 would be down here, it would be a flat, and then we would get wave 5 up here, which would be part of wave 3. And you might ask, why would I change the degree here? But I would change the degree because if my wave 2 is here, if my wave 3 is my wave 2 is here, lasted that long, then my wave 4 is going to be nearly, it's not impossible, but not as high to last that long. But what would be more correct to do is that make this a part of the intermediate wave degree, because the correction here is much longer in duration, right? So we would fit this being a wave 4 much better than it would in the lower degree. Okay, so guys, this is all there is for now, and I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, of course, an alternative scenario, please let me know, but give details that make me understand what your scenario is, because it's hard to understand by text what you mean sometimes. And don't forget, you can subscribe for not missing the next one, which might be in a week's time. Who knows, in a week's time. We'll try to do more videos, but if I don't, then and you are really looking for more videos and more insights and more regular basis, you can contact me and I can add you in my Telegram channel, where I am obviously very engaged with, provide for videos on a daily basis, for analysis, for people to be updated with the markets, so that opportunities are not missed or money is not lost in most of the cases, because most of the traders, the issue is not to make good trades and make some money, but most of the problem is that this money is lost because there's no stop loss, because they did not know or time correctly where the cycle ended, or where the market has started moving on to the opposite direction and all that stuff. So if you want more of this, then contact me, and we can talk about joining my Telegram channel. Take care, enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak again next week at some point.